Hey, welcome back. Today I want to share with you my top 10 tips, tricks, and recommendations for successful breastfeeding. Before I share these tips with you, I just want to put it out there that I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a lactation consultant. These are just things that I did when I initially started breastfeeding. Some things I'm still doing because I am still breastfeeding. I've been breastfeeding for over 9 months now. And I've had such a wonderful experience, and why not share, these tips if you want to have that same positive experience as well. With that being said, at the end of the day, if your baby is breastfed or bottle fed or you're giving formula, doesn't really matter, does it? As long as your baby is healthy and thriving and loved, that is the most important thing at the end of the day. Also, if you're wondering what's going on in the hair situation here, after you deliver, you lose a lot of hair, and finally my hair is growing back. So there's really nothing I can do to tame it down. Without further ado, let's get into my top 10 tips. Tip number 1, stay hydrated. You really want to increase your fluid intake. Try and limit your caffeine intake because that can make you dehydrated. When I'm not drinking enough water, I feel overly tired, overly hungry. I feel a little bit dizzy. I even get really, really bad headaches. So if you're experiencing that, possibly one of the reasons is your body is trying to tell you that you need to drink more water. Rule of thumb is that if your baby is drinking, you should be drinking too. Just think of it as the baby is sucking all the liquids out of your body and you need to replenish them. Tip number 2, eat right. You're burning an extra 500 calories a day, so it's only natural that you're going to feel hungrier than usual. So try having healthy snacks in between your meals. Don't get to a point where you're starving and you're just eating whatever you can get your hands on. Have a good balance of your fruits, your vegetables, your protein, good fatty foods. Just remember that whatever you are eating, your baby is eating too. So you really want to put good, nutritious, healthy foods into your body. Tip number 3 is to make sure your baby's latch is right. The best person to actually see whether your baby is latched on right is actually a lactation consultant. So if you have the opportunity, try and schedule an appointment with her. I did, and I highly recommend it. What I thought was Henry latching on the right way, he really wasn't. And the one thing that she said that stuck with me was, "Mama, you are breastfeeding, you're not nipple feeding." So you really want to make sure that your nipple is actually touching the back of your newborn's throat. That way it's not going to hurt very much because you're already so sore from, your milk coming in and stuff. You're going to be extra sore if your latch is not correct. If your baby doesn't latch on right, don't be afraid to unlatch and try again. Tip number 4 is heal your breasts. So there are a few things that you can do. The first thing is to put a hot compress over here for about 5 minutes before the baby feeds. A second thing that you can do is to massage your breast to get rid of any lumps and bumps in the hot shower. That really helped me a lot. A third thing you can do is to put cabbage leaves on top of your breast, cold cabbage leaves. It's something about, there's like some kind of property in there that's supposed to reduce the swelling and the engorgement. But I read that it can reduce your milk supply, so you want to keep that in mind when you're doing that. Unless you are suffering from oversupply, then I guess you could do that. And another thing you can do is, of course, to put a nipple cream, any sort of nipple cream. I use the Medela Lanolin cream. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And another one that I used was the one by the brand Motherlove, which is an all-organic, natural nipple cream. Both worked great. There wasn't really any difference. I just used one after the other one right now. So tip number 5 is to pump. This is especially for those who want to increase your milk supply. The more you pump, the more you breastfeed, the more milk you will produce. It's like a supply and demand thing going on. I used the Medela Pump and Style Advanced, and it worked great. I don't have it here to show you because I stored it away. I don't use it anymore. Wow, I was pumping all the time. I was even pumping in the car when my husband was driving. Good times. So you can pump when your baby is feeding on one side and you pump on the other side, or right after your baby feeds, you can pump, and even for 5-10 minutes, it makes a world of a difference. If you find it super annoying to, have the pump going on and so on and so forth, another thing that my friend introduced me to is this silicone pump, and this one is by Haakaa. And Sarah, if you're watching this, thank you so much for recommending this to me. This thing is awesome. When your baby's feeding on one side, just, put this on the other side. It has a little, like a suction thing. And you'll be amazed on how much milk this thing collects. So instead of it going to your nursing pads, it just goes in all this. You can save this. Once your baby starts eating solids, you can just, put that on in the morning. Fresh milk in the baby's oatmeal. Boom. So tip number 6 is to delay bottle feeding for at least the first month. And this is because your baby may get nipple confusion. I had that problem with Henry. I think we started giving the bottle when he was slightly over a week old. But then 3 days into it, he started rejecting me. So I completely stopped it, and 9 months later, he still does not want the bottle. So that's a risk you're willing to take. But if you really want to exclusively breastfeed, then yeah, delay bottle feeding for the first month. So tip number 7 is to not get caught up with minutes. Every baby eats differently. They eat, Henry is a relatively fast eater, like 5 to 10 minutes and he's done. And I know some babies who take 30 to 45 minutes. So just don't really compare their feeding, how long they take to feed with other babies. A newborn typically eats every hour and a half to 2 hours. And also keep in mind there are growth spurts, so during that time your baby will probably eat more frequently for a longer period of time. There are all these apps that can like track your baby's feeds and stuff. Seriously, those things will drive you crazy. Don't even go there. I also forgot to mention earlier that if your baby falls asleep when he or she is eating, what you can do is just undress them, and the cold air will actually like hit their body, and that will kind of wake them up a little bit. Tip number 8 is to get comfortable. So there are many things you can do to get comfortable. Firstly, there are the 3 positions to nurse your newborn. So you have I think it's called the cradle position, and then you have the side one, which I think it's called the football position, and then the other one is where you're lying down sideways and you're feeding your baby. Try all 3 and see which one works for you and your baby. Other ways to get comfortable is to use a boppy pillow. This is where I nurse all the time, on this chair. Sing to your baby, play lullabies, dim the lights, put on an audiobook. As you see, there are many ways to get comfortable. You just need to figure out what works best for you and your baby. Tip number 9 is to get help. Accept help when you can, ask for help when you can. I know sometimes we feel like we want to do it all. We think that our way is the right way and everyone else's way is, not the right way or not the way we want it to be. And it's normal for you to feel that way. I felt that way a lot. But yes, if you have the opportunity, get help. My family lives thousands and thousands of miles away. My husband's family live about an hour and 45 minutes away. So whenever my mother-in-law is in town or when we go back, I really take advantage of all the help I can get. They're great with the baby. My mother-in-law will actually, sleep with the baby and just bring Henry to me if he wakes up to nurse and stuff. And those little things, seriously, it's so helpful. If you get the opportunity, get help. Tip number 10 is to be calm and don't overthink. I 100% believe that your baby feeds off your energy. Isn't that right, Henry? And when I'm stressed or I'm sad or I'm just feeling down, I can definitely feel that in Henry's behavior. He's extra cranky. Don't stress the small stuff. Don't let unnecessary stresses come in the way either. It is really a learning experience. It takes time. It takes patience. It is very tiring, but it's also very worth it. And I really hope that you have gained some kind of information from this video. I honestly wanted to make this to just share my experience, like I said, and to really hope that you guys can have that same positive experience. I'm having such a great time, and I know there's going to be a time in the near future that, Henry will stop breastfeeding, or I'll stop breastfeeding. And when that time comes, I know I'll miss it very much. So I am really, really enjoying every single moment. And sometimes, yes, it can be annoying. Why doesn't he just take the bottle? But I really wouldn't change a thing. Right, Henry? Right? Now it's time for your nap. Just in time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you really enjoy seeing videos like this, please let me know in the comment section below, or press the like button. And Mama's got some lipstick on you. And I hope that all of you have a great week, and look forward to the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.